It is a big idea, a new world order.
Your world is not what it seems. Alex Ansary, Outside the Box.
And after a 2-week break, we are back. It is July 10th, 2011. I'm Alex Ansary. This is Outside the Box Live, coming to you Sunday. Again, it's July 10th, middle of the summer, 2011. We're here every Sunday night, Channel 23, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. We may be going back to Thursday nights on Channel 11 at 7 p.m. like we started. We're going back old school coming up in August, so we're looking forward to that. I want to thank Mike and Bill for being here tonight, and we're looking forward to your phone calls tonight. I just got back from the so-called Rainbow Family Gathering. That's right. Alex Ansary went to the Rainbow Family Gathering. Now, I know there's a lot of stereotypes and a lot of perceptions about Rainbow. I think there's a lot of very interesting stereotypes and perceptions about Rainbow from the people that go to Rainbow. But it's always interesting when you're looking outside in and inside out at what we call a rainbow. We've got some interesting things to talk about. We've got some interesting footage. I'm going to show you the footage of us getting pulled over at 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to get there Friday morning. We try to beat the crowds, but we ended up making some interesting law enforcement friends. I say that sarcastically. We've also got a clip from Channel 8. Bill, get that ready. And this is pretty much, this is what we have, Bill, on track 1 on the DVD. This is Channel 8 talking about the Rainbow Family Gathering several weeks ago before it began. And we will talk about that. Maybe there's some people that were there. Rainbow is making the news. There were some deaths there. There were many law enforcement officials working for the Forest Service in particular that were brought in from all over the United States to, of course, seize as much drugs as they could find. But it was definitely an interesting experience. What I will say about the Rainbow so-called family gathering, the reason why I say so-called is that, well, if you look like me, you don't exactly fit in with most of the camps at Rainbow, because despite the front that it's all free and love and, hey, brother, welcome home, if your beard isn't at a certain length or you don't look a certain way, most of the time you're going to be suspected of being a cop. It was really ironic for me because I think most people should really be focused on the New World Order and these things going on in our world, the larger picture, than suspecting just every Joe walking down the trail that doesn't look hippie enough. So a lot of interesting anomalies there. I got to watch a lot of interesting human behavior. There's more I can say, but first, Bill, let's go ahead and roll this this clip. I think it's from like the 26th of June. Go back one track, Bill, and we're going to show track 1, and so we're showing the other one.
20 to 40,000
okay, this
people.
Is the news covering Rainbow
on
a couple weeks ago.
very remote area that is usually only home to animals like elk, bears, and birds. They call themselves the Rainbow Family. The area they're flocking to is southeast of Mount St. Helens in the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. They'll camp in a stunning opening in the dense woods of Skamania County called Skookum Meadow. On your side, investigator Dan Tilkin made the long, windy drive to see the hundreds of people who are already gathering in preparation for the arrival of tens of thousands more. Dan?
Steve, when you make that long drive and you realize how remote this is, and thousands of Rainbow Family people dressed like hippies are going to camp there for at least a week, the logistics to pull it off, they are amazing. Some say troubling.
Don't worry about the trouble.
Hiking in on Forest Service Road 3220.
Welcome home.
You hear it.
Welcome home. We love you.
Welcome home. We love you, brother.
Means you're home. You made it.
Taking a newly cut trail, you come to it. What's this going to look like?
A bunch of people.
I mean, thousands of people.
Thousands and thousands of different types.
Our guide is Gregory Glenn Heredia. Here, everyone knows him as Gigi the Tree Hugger. Most of the people he introduces us to as they emerge into this emerald green meadow want to be left alone to build their campsites. They'll make play areas out of logs for kids, eventually put together kitchens to feed the masses, and dig pits for people to relieve themselves. A few,
We're all Rainbow Family.
try to explain. How do you join?
You want to come over? You just pitch your tent.
Come find out.
YouTube video of past Rainbow Family gatherings shows the festive events that run the first week of July, peaking on the 4th with a mass meditation. To call the Rainbow Family an organization is not accurate. There's no central organization, nobody in charge. This all happens through the internet and word of mouth. Were you at the first one?
Oh, yeah.
1972.
Yeah, I helped.
Barry Adams, known here as Plunker, designed the invitation for the very first Rainbow Family gathering.
Well, when the government, the Forest Service, or anybody else comes in, you see, they have to deal with each of us as an individual, with just as much sovereign authority over everything that's going on here as anybody else.
At this 2001 Rainbow Family gathering in Idaho, Native Americans blasted members for setting up camp on sacred and sensitive grounds.
If you people are truly tribal, I wouldn't come to any of your areas and do what I want. I'd come in and ask you first.
And you're confident they can restore that area to what it once was, or what it is now?
Yeah, we're pretty confident.
The Forest Service is working with some members of the Rainbow Family who will stay a month after the gathering is over, replanting and reseeding the meadow at the Rainbow Family's expense.
They have been well known for their extensive rehabilitation work at the end of the event, because it's in their best interest to leave the place as they found it. Not only, I think, for their own values, but also to be able to host this again.
The Forest Service has brought in officers from around the country to deal with the rainbow masses who insist they'll police themselves. Well, how do you handle this many people way out in the middle of nowhere?
Patience. A lot of patience.
We also stopped in the town of Cougar, which is the closest town to the gathering. Some say they have been warned there could be shoplifting, panhandling, harassment by some of the Rainbow Family people passing through, but so far, not much trouble.
So, Dan, this is legal.
There have been court battles about this between the Rainbow Family and the Forest Service, but this falls under freedom of speech and freedom of assembly.
You haven't hiked that long in a long time, have you?
Luckily, we got to drive farther than we thought we were going to have to. We thought we were going to have to hike a lot farther.
Water, I actually got really sick there. You might want to get the door. I got really sick at Rainbow. I don't know if it was the chemtrails that they sprayed on the second day. I mean, they hit it hardcore.
14 to 40,000 people.
I got fascinated with the Rainbow Family gathering because my friend Freeman, you could find his show, Freeman, or his website, freemanperspective.com. He talked a lot about synchronicity and the sharing that he experienced at Rainbow years ago. And so what I want to do is kind of review Rainbow and come out of the gate saying that we need to look at the positive and the negative.
Wiggle your wires.
Wiggle the wires? Okay. We love it here at Portland Community Media when this happens. Bill, Roger, can you hear me? All aboard. All aboard the crazy train. We want to look at the good, the bad, the ugly, and the what the hell. The good. At places like Rainbow, you get to learn how to share food. You get to learn how to make a lot of food at once if you want to help out and give back to the community. And it keeps the energy positive, people sharing, people caring, people being organized, people being efficient, people having dish stations set up, a lot of very good use of trees, of sticks, of logs, all these different camps, these makeshift camps where people of like minds come together. So in a way, it's not an escape from Babylon. In a way, it is the wilderness Babylon, because I will say that there are many people there that also brought their fears and programming from the city to Rainbow. And I can go on and on and on and get specific about some of those things, but some of you already know what I mean. What I want to know is, what was your experience like going to Rainbow? If you did intend attend this year, 503-288-4442. And like I said, something like Rainbow is what you make out of it, and you're going to find many people experiencing the reality that they want to experience. I was grateful to get out of there by day 4 because I'm sunburnt, very sunburnt right here, and my back of my back is just peeling right now. As obviously a lot more tan than I normally am. These are not special effects that we're using, folks. I actually am this tan, which is more tan than I've ever been in my life. That was a lot of sun, a lot of vitamin D to get in just a short amount of time. It was also, for this very sensitive Pisces, a very interesting environment to be, where people were so goddamn high. I mean, we are talking about tripping balls hardcore. And so I did not trip balls during this experience. See, I'm now 31 years old. I'm at a very interesting turning point in my life where I am looking very close into what direction in life I'm going. So acid's not the first thing on my mind at Rainbow. I will say I did look very closely for the goddess, and I don't believe that she was in attendance. But back to the LSD and the acid, I remember my first trip. Ironically, I took it off the corner of 39th and Southeast Holgate in the year 1999. I was 19 years old. I don't know what I was thinking. You know what was probably going through my mind when I'm hearing the dogs bark and the helicopters overhead. There was a lot to go through when you're tripping on acid in the streets of Portland. One time I even did acid in downtown Portland. I was around Broadway and Burnside, and all these crackheads around me, and I'm confused, and I'm going, how the hell do I get home? And that was just a very interesting moment at 2:30 in the morning in downtown Portland, you losing your direction of north, south, east, and west. But now it is 12, 13 years later. I'm now 31 years old. I have gone to the Rainbow, though, to be in a way, I feel like a sociologist, an anthropologist, a psychiatrist, a philosopher, a human observer. I watch the sheeple, I watch the humans, I watch the mammalians go about their life, and it was a very interesting adventure. Expressions of sexuality and free love. What I can report is that all I heard about at Rainbow was something taking place at the Ludus Temple, where a woman apparently raped a man with a strap on before a live studio audience. Apparently this was taking place at the Ludus Temple, or the Lude Temple. I did make the executive decision not to attend that event. Did see many pretty girls I may want to talk to, or may have wanted to talk to. Only I was concerned that if I began to talk, they may not understand the words that were coming out of my mouth. You see, there was a lot of monkey ooh, 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 ooh going on. A lot of just simply base chakra, just physical stuff. I was seeking consciousness. I was seeking conversation. I, of course, was looking for the hard to find, the needle in the haystack. But of course, there were some very, very interesting conversations that I did have with a number of people. There was some fire dancing going on. I mentioned the chemtrails. The very best experience that I had at Rainbow, besides being overwhelmed by the heat, all the people, thousands of people, there are at least 20 or 30,000 people there. They're expecting 50. I mean, that's a lot. But the very best part was the barter circle. The key of something like Rainbow, it's an experiment. I'm sure some people came just to barter, is that there's no trading when it comes to money. There's no exchange of actual money or Federal Reserve notes. You trade what you have. You trade nicotine. You trade chocolate. You trade. Now, because people were trading so many drug-like substances, I'm thinking, wait a minute. This isn't an escape from Babylon. This is the friggin' wilderness Babylon, where there are no rules, everybody's naked, and it's just insane in the membrane. But I traded like $6 worth of organic instant chocolate, and I got this thing called Homazon. Homazon floods your body with oxygen. It's like this $40 detox that I took recently. And I'm sitting there trading different things. I'm getting different stones. I got this necklace. I got this, which is made out of bone. And I've got some other things. I actually took Albert Pike's, Mike, you'll like this, Morals and Dogma. The book that was originally written in 1871. And the book was reprinted in 1944. And I'm thinking, you know what? I don't really want this evil book in my house anymore. I'm going to go to Rainbow and let synchronicity decide where the book goes. So here's the thing, the synchronicity. You will wind up in a situation like that where you open yourself up to the synchronicity to meet the most interesting people. And despite the fact that I was tired, that I was extremely fatigued, wires. How's that? If I had the energy for it, it just went from one conversation to another conversation to another conversation. There was one guy, he was a real interesting character. You see, he's very